Hey friends, Shay here. So today I am here to do a recommendation video for you. This one's a little unique compared to what I normally do. So this recommendation is primarily in concert with the amazing Readathon, which is a brainchild of Brianna over at Four Paws in a Book. If you are not currently following her channel, I highly recommend you do. She lives about an hour away from me, so her content is amazing. I've been following her for years, and we just haven't met up yet. We'll make it happen. But anyhow, so today we are filming recommendations for my team, which is the red team, which you could also call the pink team because pinks are allowed on our team. So one of the things that you get a bonus for is covers, like the book cover, being the same color as your team. You get bonus points. You also get bonus points for BIPOC and works in translation. I am going to have a separate like translation one that's just in general because I'm super passionate about translated works. I'm planning on doing that, and it doesn't matter the color for that, so that's going to be a separate video. But today we're only going to be talking about books that are red or pink that I think will work for this readathon. I'm not really going to go in any particular order, so I'm sorry if that's hard, but I really just want to talk about as many as I can. The first one I've got here is one that I've already read and I really enjoyed. It is a nonfiction pick, and that is Crying an H Mark by Michelle Zauner. This is a beautiful book about grief and loss and the memories that we keep of the people in our lives. And this is also a look back on Michelle Zauner's life. This is brilliant. This was recently the Barnes & Noble monthly pick as well. I picked up a hardcover copy when it was first coming out, but it is available in paperback now, should be readily available at a library. So if you need to pick up something on a whim or for not very much money, this one might be a good fit for you. One that is part of a series that you might not have read yet. It's the last book in a series, and that is Vow So Bold and Deadly by Bridget Kemmerer. So again, this one is one that if you've been putting it off, now is the perfect time. And, you know, it's also the perfect time to join our team. The Discord is really active. We're really good about giving recommendations. I find lists all the time of covers, red covers, and so I just drop them in there. We're building a really active community over there on Discord, so I would highly recommend checking it out if you haven't. Okay, let me just open up my phone here, and I've got a list I've been building on my notes for a minute, so we're just gonna go through those. So another one that's like A Vow So Bold and Deadly is going to be The Lost Metal by Brandon Sanderson. If you've been putting off this final book in the second era of the Mistborn series, now is the perfect time. Duel with the Vampire Lord. Technically this zones in YA in our bookstore, but it reads more like a traditional romance, just low steam. I've loved this series so far. There's such beautiful covers, but this Duel with a Vampire Lord is a very, very red cover, so it's the perfect time to pick this one up. The audio is also fantastic for this one, so if you need an audio to squeeze in, this one might be a good fit for that. Red on the River by Christine Feehan. This is her romantic suspense murder mystery kind of series, and I really enjoyed it. I believe this one takes place centered around like a casino and gambling. Yeah, because it's Murder at Sunrise Lake. That's the first one. So this is the one that involves like the gambling and stuff, which is it was a really fun take. I really enjoyed it. A pink cover to throw in here is The Wedding Crasher by Mia Sosa. Now, I love Mia Sosa's writing. I know her stuff doesn't always work for people, but for me, it's always enriched with that beautiful Brazilian culture. Because she is part Brazilian from what I remember, and so it's always full of all the Brazilian yummy food and just the fun little cultural things that I get to experience because my sister-in-law is Brazilian and my brother and his family lived in Brazil for about 10 years, so that's just ingrained in their family culture, so it's become part of mine, and so that makes it really fun for me. A YA fantasy series that you could read pretty quickly. Both the first book and the second book are very like pink red heavy covers, and that is A Magic Steeped in Poison. This series is really fun. I really ended up enjoying it. I read them pretty quickly, honestly. They were books that once you got into them, they were harder to put down. So I would definitely recommend checking them out. They're a really fun YA fantasy. The next one I have here is Peach Blossom Spring. Now, the original hardcover is more red. The paperback, I believe, is more like blue and sakura petals, but the hardcover is a very red cover. So if you have the hardcover, now's the perfect time to pick this up. This is a Chinese historical fiction that I really ended up enjoying. Next is one for my like alien romance girlies. Yeah, alien romance girlies. And that is I Married a Merman. He is very pink. The cover is very pink. But this book was really a lot of time. It's part of my favorite series by Regina Abel, who is a BIPOC author, so you get extra points for that. Just the whole take on this particular one is very unique. And I don't want to say anything, but it's all centered around like a bigger... It's from the Prime Mating Agency series, so there's like a matchmaker who sets up couples, and it's just really fun. I really liked the setup for this one. The next one here is definitely not going to be for everybody, but this is more for my dark romance girlies or my taboo romance girlies. And that's going to be Savage Road by Christine Feehan. This is part of her Torpedo Inc. series. She did 2 books based on a character called Savage. And this second one, it deals with the more sadistic side of his sexual tendencies. So if that's not your thing, definitely steer away from this one. But again, this is for my like taboo girlies and for my dark romance girlies, because I think you'll end up enjoying that one. Another one that's actually in the middle of a series, kind of like Savage Road is Lover Mine by J.R. Ward. This is book 8, I believe, in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. I ended up enjoying that one quite a bit when I read it. And it's a very red cover. And each one, you know, kind of has a color scheme, and that one is very red. The next one I have here is Volume 1 of Heaven Official's Blessing. This one is a fantastic Chinese light novel series. These are pretty beefy. They're about 500 pages. So do know that going into them. But if you have not picked up Heaven Official's Blessing, now is the perfect time. I am obsessed with the 2 of them. Volume 6 made me cry. Like, I'm obsessed with this couple, and you get to follow them for a very long time. But this is the first installment in the series, and I would definitely recommend picking that one up. The next one I have here is Cytonic by Brandon Sanderson. Again, a very pink-centered cover. The first book in the series is a very purple-centered cover. So for this one, if you wanted to, like, catch up on the series before... Defiant, the last book in the series, comes out, then now is the perfect time to reread it. I may do that on audio. We'll see what happens. The next one I have here is another Christine Feehan from her Carpathian series, which is one of my favorites, and that is Dark Tarot. Again, we're dealing with a tarot-centered style witch in this particular one, and I really, really enjoyed it. Like, I'm just a big Feehan fan, so, like, you're gonna get recs from me occasionally, so just know that. Own it, accept it, it's just who I am. Okay? Okay. The next one is another part of the Skyward series. It's one of the novellas called Redon, so if you're needing a shorter one. I know the audiobooks are separated out, and Redon is a very red cover, but it's contained in the Skyward Flight physical bind-up. So you could read just that one if you needed something a little on the shorter side. Then we have Hot Under His Collar by Andy J. Christopher. This is a very pink cover. This was a really fun, kind of campy priest romance. Not super taboo-ish, but it's there and it's sweet and I really liked it. The next one I have here is a Nalini Singh book, which is Last Guard. This is part of her Side Changeling Trinity series. I can't remember if it's the book from last year or the year before, but it's very, very pink. Then we have Radiant Sin by Katie Robert. You can definitely read this one. It's very red forward, and we love Katie Robert in this house, so that's just a fun one. How to Survive a Scandal by Samara Parrish is one for my historical fiction girlies. Rosaline Palmer Takes the Cake by Alexis Hall is a very pink cover. We have a bi heroine, and I really loved that one as well. Okay, let's talk about some manga and graphic novels here for a minute. So, first up, of course, I'm going to be recommending Something's Wrong with Us. The entire series has this beautiful red as the background on all of the covers. And there are currently 15 volumes out. So with our updated rules for the manga and graphic novels, as long as they fit the prompts, you could use this for 5 legs of the race, or you can use it for sightseeing and all those kinds of things. So definitely check out this series and put it on your list for potential bonus points. One that I'm going to be working my way through during this one is Wild Ones. This is a older shoujo series that I ended up collecting when I was out in Tennessee in January. They had all 10 volumes, so I decided to go ahead and pick it up. A graphic novel you might not know about is Odessa. This one is by Jonathan Hill. This is like a dystopian post-apocalypse kind of story that I ended up really enjoying. It's a little over 300 pages, so it's definitely a solid entry in the Readathon. Everyone's Getting Married is a very red-centered cover as well. All the backgrounds are very red. And that one's really fun. Just why I'm looking around, making sure. Okay, I think that's it for ones that I've already read. So let's get into the things on my potential list. So first up here, I have Fire Rush by Jacqueline Crooks. This one was nominated for the Women's Prize this year. Now, the UK cover is very, like, yellow forward. This one's very red forward. I do believe it deals with some of the reggae culture, and I believe it is also by a BIPOC author. So I'm very excited to try this one out. If anyone wants to buddy read it with me, like, let me know. I will be happy to have a buddy read helper. One that is translated that I haven't gotten to yet, that I'm holding on to until August now, is the latest book by Isabel Allende. This one is The Wind Knows My Name. This one, again, is a very pink-centered cover. All of her books seem to have a pretty strong color tone to them. So I would definitely check out her stuff if you're looking for something translated for the Readathon. The next one is a mystery that I keep putting off, and this is going to be the perfect time to pick it up because it's perfect for this prompt, and that is The Maid by Nita Prose. This is just shy of 300 pages, so it won't take me a super long time to read, but again, I am very, very excited about it. Next, I have Wait For Me, Yesterday and Spring, another very pink forward cover. We have kind of a almost like death / someone goes missing, but they're not actually dead kind of situation going on here. This one is a little over 350 pages, so again, not a super long one. Light novels don't tend to take me quite as long, but I'm very excited to pick this one up. Again, it's another work in translation because it is a light novel. The next one I have here is Follow Me Always by Helen Hart, which will finish out a trilogy for me of her. She tends to write things in trilogies. This is her, like, 50 Shades of Grey inspired series is what I would call it. So I'm interested to see how this one finishes out because the second book left me really wanting to know what was going to happen here in the third. And then the other one I have here physically is If I Had Your Face by Frances Cha. Again, a very pink forward cover, but it's also a yellow color forward cover, so I would accept it for either personally. But yeah, I'm very, very excited about this particular one. So with that said, I know I have some digital ones here on my phone that I've already separated out. Like I have ones from NetGalley that are on my list, so I'm going to tell you those. Nobody's Princess, I mean, stunning. The author is not BIPOC, but look at this cover. Look at it, appreciate it, and love it. And then we have Return of the Duke, which is by Lorraine Heath, I believe. So for my historical fiction girly, or historical romance girlies, there's a couple for you. I also have a Duchess by Midnight, which is very pink forward from my memory. Blame It on the Brontes. I love the Bronte sisters, and I keep putting this book off, and I don't know why. So this is going to be the perfect time to pick it up. I have Pirate's Protector here. I might just need like a good adventure one, and I don't really have one on my TBR at this moment, so I'm going to use that one. I have Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, which is one that I've just been meaning to get to. Same with Two Wrongs Make a Right by Chloe Leese. I love Chloe Leese, so we're definitely on top of that. Next I have Zara. This is a YA fantasy, I believe. And this color is the cover's stunning and very pink forward. And then I have The Way Home by Peter S. Beagle. This is in the same world as The Last Unicorn. I just keep forgetting to get to it. And it's that very dark pink that's very pretty. And then we have Ellie is Cool Now. I've been meaning to get to this forever, obviously, just haven't yet. And then Curves for Days, because Curves for Days. I mean, the background is pink. And we have a curvy heroine, so of course I'm going to be all over that. So thank you guys so much for checking out this video. If you're here just because you love me, leave me your favorite red or pink emoji, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
It's been raining for days now, been running like a child. Can't feel the cold, well I'm lost here with you, lost in the woods. Lost as I should.